I'm Pastor Jay. Let's talk about churches. You know, it's funny how churches, like Jesus said this in Mark chapter 2, verse 17, and Luke chapter 5, verse 31 to 32. He says, you know, I'm not here for the well. He said, I'm here for the sick. Now, he was talking to Pharisees because they were saying, why are you eating with these people? And he said, well, I didn't come here for the well. I came here for the people that are sick. That's why most churches instead of becoming hospitals like they're supposed to be, they became more or less country clubs. Or sometimes it's nice rehab. You know, where you can come as long as you're dressed right, dressed thing. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, just because it's tennis courts and stuff like that. You know, yes, you are supposed to have things for the kids. That's another problem with churches here lately, is they're not here for the kids. They're here for it, because I heard a pastor say this, well, them kids don't pay the bills. Well, here's the thing is, if you don't raise them up right, they ain't going to be there to pay the bills, that's for sure. You ain't going to have nobody in churches. That's why a lot of churches are shutting down. They didn't put nothing in their youth. They didn't help none in their youth. They didn't care for their youth. All they cared for those who sat on the bench and more or less gave money to the church. Here's the thing is, all money belongs to God. Doesn't matter what you do, it belongs to God. That person sitting on that bench, he got that money from God. We're here for God. And that's just another thing that church is going to have to realize. We're here for God. We're not here for the people. You think, oh, that's just kind of right bad. It's not bad, because we're not here for the people. We're here to serve God and spread His word. These people, if they're sick and they need help, it's just like a doctor. You know, he's there to serve that hospital. The people that come through it, is his job to help them, to make them well. Same thing every pastor out there is for. We're not here for the people, because we're to serve God. If we're here for people, then we'll change. Well, that's what's happening now. Is Bibles are changing, churches are changing their preaching, because they're for the people, not for God. So how about this? How about getting back to God? How about becoming your church being a hospital for God, not a country club, not to be dressed up in suit and ties every time you walk through the door. You know, it's not supposed to be that way. Jesus, if the people Jesus picked, most of these churches wouldn't even let in. And that's the sad part about this. Most of his disciples, they wouldn't even be letting the door. Oh, you don't belong, you need to belong to that church down the road. I've heard that. Let's get back to God. Let's quit going this direction we're going. If not, yeah, there ain't gonna be no kids, there ain't gonna be no people, there ain't gonna be no church.